two. There's the switch. Gobert is out there. Doncic maneuvers for the lead. Got it! Got it! What a shot!
All right, dang it, I'm here. I am here. I am alive. Barely, but I am alive. This man, first of all, let me just get this out the way. Luka Doncic and Kyrie look like the best two players in the series by far. It really looks like Anthony Edwards has hit a wall. Now, this isn't a tired excuse. This is not going to be an Anthony Edwards exclusive video. We about to get on his ass. Trust me, check the description for the different topics. I have not seen a superstar or potential superstar struggle out of nowhere like this since Jason Tatum in the finals. It's as simple as that. He looks gassed after every halftime. Both third quarters from both games, he's played trash. I think he might have 0 points in both quarters. Both third quarters from the first game and the second game. But yeah, this is really been about what Luka Doncic and Kyrie have been doing. I told a lot of you guys, people were like, oh, Kyrie has been struggling with his offense. I'm like, no, man, I'm not even worried about that. He's picking and choosing his spots. He's affecting the game in other ways in that OKC series. He was locking in. I said in my last video, he's doing what Bradley Beal said he was going to do. Oh, I'm going to be a two-way superstar. No, your ass wasn't, Brad. You wasn't going to do that. Kyrie is showing you how it's done. And it's just been crazy. Cat and Antman, someone put them on a milk carton with a missing sign because I don't know where the hell they went. They haven't been nearly, especially Antman. Now, Carl is bound to give you a couple games like this every series. But Antman, for him to just be like this, it's just crazy. And this is the game plan right here. Daniel Gafford, Luka Doncic's top of the key pick and roll, or it's an ISO from Luka Doncic and Kyrie. That's the game plan. Pick and roll, top of the key, Daniel Gafford, alley-oop, or ISO Kyrie Irving and Luka. Sometimes the Timberwolves trap Luka or Kyrie off the pick and roll. They just make the right play, swing, open shot in the corner. It's just a make or miss league at that point. And I said this before, Anthony Edwards should not be guarding Kyrie. It has nothing to do about him calling Kyrie out either. Like, I know Kyrie was gonna, play with more motivation after Anthony Edwards called him out. I just think Jaden McDaniels is a better match for Kyrie because no one can stay in front of Kyrie anyway, so you might as well have someone with length who can get back into play, which is what I was saying in my last video. And also, Luka Doncic can post up Jaden McDaniels because he's so skinny. He's not posting on Antman like that. Now, I did see the two highlights where Luka scored on Ant, the spin move lay, and then I think he got a layup on another possession against Antman. Antman, I mean, that's when he had a head of steam already. It wasn't like he was just posting Antman up. He would struggle with that in comparison to playing against Jaden McDaniels. So I think they should switch that. That is a huge key matchup and situational matchup that I think can affect the entire series if they put Anthony Edwards on Kyrie less and put him on Luka more and maybe like Josh Green a little bit to give him a break. Because this man looks exhausted. Now, like I said, we're not going to give him the exhausted excuse. But it's just evident. This is not Anthony Edwards. He looks done after like 2 minutes into the third quarter. Like, his third quarters have been abysmal. But let's talk about Kyrie and Luka because they've been doing a lot of things. Luka Doncic, you guys know I had him as my MVP this season. I had him as a top 2 MVP candidate for more than half the season. Even when other superstars were hooping, I always had Luka in my top 2. And then towards like the last 3 months of the season, I just said it outright. I said he's the MVP of the league. I said over Jokic, yes, because no one expected the Mavs to do this. People expected the Nuggets to be a top 2 or a number 1 seed coming from last year's championship. This is uncharted territory for the Dallas Mavericks. It's in terms of like what we thought they would be at least. So give credit to Luka, man. He's been doing this all season. The duo is working as good as the Dallas Mavericks could have hoped for. I can't believe I'm just now hearing that ESPN or whatever dumbass company or so-called analyst gave the Kyrie Irving Dallas trade a D or a D+. Are you dumb? Off of just ball knowledge, that's bare minimum a B+ or a B. And that's if they hate each other. I'm talking about it's a B if they hated each other. So I knew it would work. I wasn't sure about the surrounding parts. And Kyrie being a little ball dominant in years past at certain points did kind of make it more hesitant to just jump on the bandwagon and say, oh, this is going to be an elite duo in terms of like being able to just win a championship in the first 2 years. But they're definitely showing it, man. They really are. Luka Doncic, he is the most unguardable player. I would say even more unguardable than Jokic because you can't guard Luka on the perimeter or the post. you could kind of stay in front of Luka. I mean, in front of Jokic on the perimeter a little bit more because he's a center still. And even though he has handles and he could pass and IQ and all that, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes on the perimeter either, he's still not Luka Doncic on the perimeter. So I'm not ready to say Luka's the best player in the NBA yet because he has to win a championship. That's not fair to Jokic. Shout out Jokic. But yeah, I just think he's definitely playing like the best player in the world right now. And damn sure hasn't been Antman. Now I do think Antman will turn things around. Oh, before I get into Antman and how I want him to play in the next upcoming games, we gotta talk about PJ Washington too, man. PJ Washington has been a defensive anchor. He's doing a great job locking up Cat, causing Cat to not be aggressive, take tough shots. And he's just a constant lob threat, and he's a shot blocker. Him and is it Derrick Jones? The dude who did the dunk con. I think it is Derrick Jones. Skinny dude. But yeah, they've been doing a great job as far as rim protection is concerned. Anthony Edwards hasn't even been attempting that many shots in the paint because of Gafford, PJ Washington, and Derek Lively, and Jones, like I said. So they definitely do have shot blockers, but Anthony Edwards should get past it. I'm sorry. If in 2K terms, these are a bunch of 78 to 82 overall paint protectors. Like, come on, man. If Anthony Edwards makes up in his mind he wants to dunk on Daniel Gafford, guess what's gonna happen? Daniel Gafford's gonna get dunked on. I'm sorry. You can call it D-Ride and whatever you want. I think it's a mentality thing at this point. Now I know a lot of people have been trying to create the narrative. Oh, he's tired. Now, whether that's true or not, people are not trying to hear that. He's 22. He should be full of energy and life. Now, I do understand him going this far in the playoffs for the very first time, and Tatum said a similar thing in the playoffs against Golden State, that he just ran out of gas and he had to change his diet. Anthony Edwards' diet is horrible, so maybe that's something he might want to consider changing in the offseason to prepare for moments like this. Because if you can't outlast Luka Doncic, who doesn't appear to be in any type of basketball shape, even though he clearly is, it's looking spooky for any postseason advances. I'm going to just be straight up, man. And it turns out teams that are 2-0 after winning 2 games on the road in the conference finals are 16-0. Hopefully it turns into 16-1. I do honestly still believe this series can go 6 games at least. Now, it all depends on this game right here. Because if they lose today, they're probably going to feel defeated in Game 4 and it's going to get closed out on the road. But if they win this game, especially if it's a blowout, like I said, if you steal 2 games on the opponent's court like Dallas did, you have to, even if you lose it, you have to keep the loss close. You saw the Timberwolves. They came out in Game 3 against the Nuggets, and they got blown out. You never want to get blown out on home court after stealing 2 because that shifts momentum and that gives the other team's confidence in Game 4. And that's what happened to the Nuggets in the Timberwolves series, and that could happen now. So if the Timberwolves really are serious about this, they should try to blow these jokers out. And I think they do. It's crazy because they were leading in every game. If they're just making dumbass decisions, Anthony Edwards, what the hell was that turnover at halftime and in the at halftime and at the end of the game? That's literally the 2 most critical moments, and that's what you do. So I think he has to just take less threes, shoot more mid-ranges. He should shoot way more mid-ranges, and just let the game come to you, man. All right, so I wanted to react to the first team All-NBA. I think these are the right players. I think the only one that's debatable, the only 2 that's debatable that you could take off maybe is Tatum or Shea. I don't even think you could take Tatum off because he was the best player on the best team. But you could make an Anthony Edwards Shea argument. I know the statistics favor Shea. I get all that. But Karl was out for like 20, 30 games, and Anthony Edwards still kept him as a top 3 seed, and it literally came down to the last game that they could have been the number 1 seed. Shea didn't have to deal with that, and Anthony Edwards' stats rose when Pat went out. So I think you can make an argument for that. But the rest, I think Giannis, I don't think anybody else really has an argument over Giannis. Tatum, I understand him being there. Who else would be over him? Jaylen Brown, no. Trae Young, no. So I think that the first team is pretty correct. Like I said, it's really based on statistics and I guess statistical dominance. I think that's what they factor in the most. Let's take out the second team. I think this is very accurate. The only one that I think is debatable is Kawhi, and you could debate LeBron, Jaylen Brown, or I'm missing somebody. It's somebody remind me in the comments. This is someone who's like around that level that could be debatably on the second tier. But besides that, I think KD has to be here because he was phenomenal this year statistically, and they finished with the top 7 seed. So I mean, it is what it is. Jalen Brunson, especially what he did in the postseason, that justifies him being on this team. Anthony Edwards, I made an argument for him to be first team, so I think he damn sure should be second team. AD, yeah, because he was playing defense like an MF for this year. His stats were very, very good. He's never going to be a true number one as a contender in terms of like the absolute best player. I don't think he can do that because he's never shown that. But I think for the most part, this is good. Like I said, the only one that is debatable for the second team, in my opinion, is Kawhi. The other 4, yes. Like I said, you could put LeBron in there. You could put JB in there. There's some other guys in there too. Maybe like 1 or 2 more guys that has a case. But yeah, man, thank you so much. And somebody told me that there was like this site called The Ringer that made a top 25 or younger list or something. I may have to react to that because what I'm hearing is wild. So thanks for watching, and I'm out. Peace. Hey.